Hello everyone. How are you? Today about nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs create catastrophic and long-lasting consequences that far outweigh any perceived military advantage. Their immense blast and heat cause instant, indiscriminate destruction, killing countless civilians. The resulting radiation poisoning leads to horrific, slow deaths and increases cancer rates for decades. Most severely, a nuclear exchange could trigger a nuclear winter, where soot blocked from the sun would cause global famine, collapsing ecosystems and potentially ending human civilization. The mere existence of these weapons creates a constant risk of accidental launch, theft, or use by terrorists, placing all humanity under a permanent threat of annihilation. Nuclear bomb. Materials and chemicals in nuclear bombs. The main nuclear fuels are tritium-235 or plutonium-239. Uranium-235 is a rare isotope of uranium, highly fissile. Plutonium-239 is produced in nuclear reactors from uranium-238. Lithium-6 deuteride is often used as a fusion fuel. Beryllium can serve as a neutron reflector. Polonium-210 was historically used as an initiator with beryllium. High explosives like TNT, RDX, or HMX surround the core to compress it. Explosives act in a perfectly timed implosion mechanism. Neutron initiators inject neutrons to start the chain reaction. Tamper layers, uranium or tungsten, help reflect neutrons. Cadmium or boron can act as neutron absorbers in safety devices. Lead shielding is sometimes used during assembly for safety. The bomb casing is usually made of strong metals, steel, or aluminum. In hydrogen bombs, a fission primary triggers a fusion secondary. Thermonuclear devices may include uranium-238 as a fast fission tamper. Deuterium gas can also be injected to boost reactions. Tritium is radioactive and must be replenished periodically. Plutonium-240 impurity in Pu-239 increases risk of pre-detonation. Modern bombs may include advanced polymers for explosive lenses. Immediate effects on people. A nuclear blast releases intense thermal radiation. People near ground zero can be vaporized instantly. Flash blindness occurs due to the light intensity. Severe burns happen within kilometers. Clothing can ignite spontaneously. Lethal radiation dose occurs within seconds near the epicenter. Acute radiation syndrome (ARS) can kill within weeks. Bone marrow suppression causes infections and bleeding. Gastrointestinal damage leads to vomiting and diarrhea. Neurological damage in extreme doses causes seizures and coma. Radiation weakens the immune system. Wounds heal poorly due to radiation damage. Cataracts develop in survivors exposed to radiation. Skin cancer risk rises significantly. Thyroid cancer increases due to radioactive iodine. Radiation damages reproductive organs. Increased risk of infertility. Pregnant women risk miscarriage. Birth defects rise in exposed populations. Children are more vulnerable to radiation damage. Long-term health effects. Leukemia rates rise after exposure. Solid cancers breast, lung, colon, increased decades later. Genetic mutations accumulate in DNA. Increased risk of heart disease. psychological trauma, PTSD, anxiety, depression, Baksha. Japanese survivors suffered discrimination. Radiation scars often remain lifelong. Hormonal imbalances may occur. Stunted growth in children exposed young, reduced life expectancy for survivors. Radiation sickness can reappear later. Eye problems such as retinal damage. Immune deficiency continues for years. Secondary cancers develop decades after exposure. Radiation alters brain chemistry in children. Survivors often suffer chronic fatigue. Teeth and bones show radioactive contamination. Increased suicide rates among survivors. Higher rates of stroke in irradiated populations. Reproductive health remains impaired across generations. Environmental consequences. Radioactive fallout contaminates soil. Strontiamine mimics calcium and enters bones. Cysamine 137 contaminates crops for decades. Radioactive iodine contaminates milk. Local rivers and lakes become radioactive. Fish and wildlife absorb radiation. Forests suffer genetic mutations in trees. Ecosystems collapse from loss of biodiversity. Fallout spreads with wind currents globally. Agricultural land becomes unusable. Radioactivity binds to dust and spreads. Long-lived isotopes remain hazardous for centuries. Fallout can cause nuclear winter by blocking sunlight. Crops fail due to lack of sunlight. Temperatures drop globally. Rainfall patterns change. Food shortages follow crop failures. Water supplies become radioactive. Animals die from radiation poisoning. Extinction of local species possible. Effects on future generations. Genetic mutations passed to children. Increased rates of congenital disabilities. Higher infant mortality rates. Intellectual disabilities more common in exposed children. Weaker immune systems in next generations. Mutated DNA continues for many generations. Developmental delays in children. Reduced fertility in future generations. Higher rates of cancers in descendants. Psychological trauma inherited culturally. Social stigma on survivors, families. Generational poverty due to displacement. Children grow up in contaminated zones. Lack of clean food and water impacts growth. Malnutrition worsens due to destroyed agriculture. Educational loss due to societal collapse. Survivors' children often face discrimination. Population decline in affected areas. Entire communities may vanish over time. Generational suffering continues for centuries. Humanity faces existential risk if many bombs are used. Thanks for watching.